You understand Jen now or what?
No, man.
Oh, okay, fine. Go. Okay, go
on
on.
this aspect. That's the reason why I was requesting.
Okay, fine.
Mr. Steyn, let's just, because this is very important. I'll come back to it after lunch, if needs be. Let's move on. We are still on paragraph 4. The first and the second bulletin of your paragraph. You talked about section 205. You see that?
That's correct.
And that's where you said how to apply for section 205.
That's correct.
When you apply for section 205, as you have indicated, it goes to the court grants the application, then it's taken to a service provider. In this case, this is Vodacom.
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
That's correct.
Then you will be provided when you proceed with your evidence to say the TSU will issue a reference number.
That's correct.
And then it reaches the service provider who will provide the section 205.
That's correct.
And that process, when the service provider gives you the 205s, it gives you it in a form of a PDF format.
That's correct.
The PDF, I'm putting to you that it is authentic and original. It is real and genuine. Do you agree?
That's correct.
Oh my goodness. So you already know, if you watched part 1, that Mngomezulu went hard. That Mngomezulu went very, very hard on Colonel Steyn. Okay, he went so hard on him that Mngomezulu forgot to fact check the POPIA Act and when it went into effect. But anyway, that doesn't matter. At that moment, he ruffled Steyn's feathers, so Steyn was already on edge. How much on edge was he? How much on edge was he? He was so much on edge that he had to tell the judge that I don't know how to answer this question. But I like what Mngomezulu did. He said, never mind, okay, I'm going to research this on my lunch break. And Judge Rata says, let's take an adjournment. Mngomezulu says, no, we don't need to. Let's continue. Paragraph 4. And then what happens in paragraph 4? Mngomezulu suddenly changes his demeanor, okay? He's now mellow. He's now asking Steyn yes or no questions, and the answers continuously are yes, 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 as he walks and guides Steyn into a corner that forces him to say the PDF cannot be manipulated. I love this line of action, and you already know when Mngomezulu puts his chin up and pushes his chest out, now he's coming in with the hammer. Let's continue listening on.
And since there is an application in terms of section 205, the service provider is authorized by the court to provide or to give that subpoena in terms of section 205.
That's correct.
Now, let's look at the integrity of this PDF format. It's a genuine document. It's real. It's original. It cannot be tampered with. You agree with me?
That's correct.
Once it is converted into an Excel, the originality remains with the PDF.
That's correct.
When you proceed with the downloading for the purpose of analyzing the cell phone data, it gets into another stage or another integrity of being capable of being edited. Is that correct?
The possibility is there.
So if we go to J1, the affidavit of binge-watching, that information provided by the service provider cannot be disputed or cannot be changed in any way. Do you agree?
I agree.
And binge-watching has already led evidence about the contents of the Section 205.
That's correct.
I said being
No, I'm saying proceed, it's fine.
Oh, sorry, thank you, Mr. After she has led evidence, then, all right, now, she has led evidence. The process of downloading or of converting that PDF information to an Excel, it has to be worked into a working document. Is that?
Just so that we don't confuse the issues, there are two processes. My learned friend is talking about downloading and he's also talking about conversion. These are two different concepts. Just so that the record becomes clear, my lord. Downloading is when you take the instrument itself and you look at the contents thereof. And conversion is something different. That's a good please.
God please, thank you for. After the downloading of that information, I want to get into the point where you are involved as an analyst. During the conversion and the downloading, you are not directly involved.
That's correct.
And during the process of conversion and downloading, it also requires human involvement. Am I right?
Human involvement with a specific program.
Yes.
Because I myself don't have that program to convert the PDF to a working copy.
Once everything is done, is taken for analysis, that's where you are involved. Am I right?
That's correct.
Before you commence with the analysis, you are not aware of what took place during the conversion and the downloading.
No.
Okay. I'm trying to I'll think of this word. I'm trying to demonstrate the factual causation of what might have caused the discrepancies between what is in the PDF format and what is in your affidavit, Exhibit 01. But please bear with me because I'm trying to follow the logic. When you receive this spreadsheet, you said you received the spreadsheet and the downloads for analysis. Am I correct? Or maybe I didn't get it.
Maybe you're not getting. Remember, Section 205 is on its own.
Yes.
The download is on its own.
Yes.
So it's totally two different things.
May I rephrase it?
Come back.
Yes. May
Absolutely, yeah.
may I rephrase it by saying, when you receive the Section 205s and the downloads for the purposes of analyzing, you were working on a spreadsheet that you were given by the investigating officer.
That's correct.
Why I'm asking this is because your evidence is that you received these 205s and downloads from Constable Mshwana on the 27th of October 2014. Am I correct to say that?
No, you're not correct.
So what is the correct position there?
The correct one is in my statement. I mentioned on page 3 of my first statement.
Yes.
On the 9th of April 2020, at about 10 o'clock, I received a CD, Section 205 and cell phone downloads from the investigation officer Brigadier Kabinda with information about the following topics.
That's the reason is because I wanted clarity, because I wanted to ask as to how many times did you conduct, how many times did you analyze, because I was confused because I have information that you got the, you conducted the analysis in 2020.
That's correct.
All right, let's look at the period. I just want to check the period when this analysis was done in 2020. From 2014, 27 October 2014, now you performed or you analyzed the downloads in 2020, which means 6 years after it has been downloaded. A period of 6 years. That's when you conducted the analysis.
That's correct.
So from I understand from the background of Brigadier Gininda that he was appointed in 2018 as an investigating officer in this case.
That's correct.
So I just want to establish, if you know, if you don't know, it's not a problem. From 2014 up to the time of his appointment, there was no analysis done on the downloads.
No, definitely there was some analysis done.
Sorry?
It was done with some other analysis. But when Brigadier Gagina and his team has been appointed, he asked me to help to assist.
So sir, you said you were provided with a certain number, certain cell numbers by Brigadier Gininda.
That's correct.
Now, on the A and B system, you said something about the A and B system where you throw in and whatever. Is it actually prescribed or governed by a particular piece of legislation?
That's correct.
I understand it's an app in the SAPS.
That's correct. A
But is
program.
there- sorry?
Or
It's
a program, yeah.
Yes. But is it promulgated or regulated by a particular act of parliament other than being...
I don't know.
So the reason for you to be called or to be recalled is to clarify the discrepancies between J1 and Exhibit 01, especially on two transactions. Transactions of the 2nd of August 2014 and the 15th of October 2014. Correct?
2nd of October and the 15th of yeah.
15th of October 2014.
That's correct.
I believe my colleagues will get into that aspect. I just wanted to get into the what is essential relating to the principles of law. You have already gave evidence in August 2023.
Yes.
August 2024, you are recalled to give clarity on what you testified on in 2023 August.
That's correct, my lord. Like I explained yesterday, I proved yesterday that there's no difference between my evidence and the one I give in last year, August last year. I did mention yesterday the section 205 is on its own. And the download is on its own. Section 205 is actually the property or product of Vodacom. The download is a product of the SAP.
Any changes between the 205s or any discrepancies or differences between the section 205s and the downloads? You said it assumed a status of an Excel in order to, so it assume a status of an Excel after it has been downloaded. Am I putting it correctly?
When I
From
receive
the
it,
conversion part of
yeah,
it.
when I receive it, it's in an Excel spreadsheet, a working document.
Yeah. At that time when you received that spreadsheet, did you come across the differences between what is in the 205s and that spreadsheet or on your working document?
There wasn't any differences.
Whoa. Wait a damn minute. So wait a minute. So Steyn did not convert the PDF to Excel. And also, Steyn did not notice any differences. But he wrote the report. He wrote the affidavit last year, and he wrote the affidavit that he was so excited to write last week. And Judge Rata told him, don't even start with that because you don't know what questions you're going to be asked. But he didn't listen. Judge Rata tried to tell him that this defense team, they're vicious, bro. But Steyn was just so excited. And I get his excitement. He was coming back from retirement. I'm coming back as, the cup of tea, okay? They have called me back. Do you know what status that is? I'm sure that's some esteemed status. How do I know? We see it daily with Judge Rata, okay? There's no one who can tell him anything. He is back from retirement by popular demand. So we're dealing with two men and their large egos here. They are so proud that they've been called back. I mean, do you guys know what retirement is? They probably wake up, eat, sleep. Wake up, eat, sleep. But now they get to interact and have these important statuses and answer questions. This was exciting to Steyn to come back, but he had no clue what he was walking into. We see here when Ngomezulu leads him gently down the stream, and they're holding hands. I imagine them. They're literally holding hands. It's really nice. It's copacetic. You know, there's no tension. There is no tension. Steyn is feeling comfortable enough now to take his shoes off and just walk in the water. And Ngomezulu is watching him. He's watching him. Ngomezulu continues to disarm him because he knows exactly where he's going. And then he says, yeah, so you know the TSU, they got the PDF from Vodacom, right? Yeah. And then when they got it, they converted it to PDF, right? Yes. Oh, thank God you get it. It was not me who did the conversion. Okay. We're together. So far, so good. And then Ngomezulu says, yeah. So when you did look at the Excel and then you looked at the PDF, did you notice the differences? Notice Ngomezulu's eyes pop with shock when Steyn says, no, I didn't see the differences. In fact, I heard about these differences as a rumor, and that's the reason I've been called back. But when I worked on it, there were no differences. My goodness, is Steyn lying to us? Should we believe him at this point? He's the one who told us about the removing the zeros and the plus and then adding the 27. But for some strange reason, he doesn't know about the difference in numbers. He never noticed it. But he is able to tell us what? That he's able to tell us that he saw Pinky's PDF. He's able to confirm that. And he's able to confirm that there is nothing that can change in the PDF. It is the original. It is the ultimate. And it is the intellectual property of Vodacom. But the downloads are the property of the South African Police Service. So we've figured out who did, which department rather, changed the PDF to Excel. We don't know who manipulated the data. This continues to be a developing story. Let's continue listening on because, as Ngomezulu said, my colleagues will get into the nitty-gritty details of this PDF thing and the legislation. I just want to make sure that this app that you guys have, why didn't Ngomezulu minimize it to an app? After we spent a whole day yesterday with Valoy and Steyn and then making it seem like this astronomical software. I digress. So yeah, let us get back and figure out what happens next.
Where does this difference come from? Was it at the time when you used the A and B program?
Which difference you're referring to now?
I'm
That column, I did mention in my first statement that I transport the information to an Excel spreadsheet to explain it to the court in a workable, understandable document. So that is something I did myself. It's not a difference with a section 205 or a download. Like you see in that exhibit you received yesterday. It's on page this and it's on page that.
Okay, just give me a second. There's something I just want to check before I move on to something else.
You may sit down if you want to, sir.
Thank you.
I'm the feature one here.
Say, there's something that also bothers me here in paragraph 6 of your affidavit. Can you please read that sentence for me?
Paragraph 6 of bullet 6.
No, paragraph 6.
That one of Kelly rebooted?
Yes.
Okay. Kelly rebooted her handset during the early morning hours of...
Oh, sorry, before that one. Sorry, sir, before that one. Paragraph 5.
As mentioned in my previous statement, paragraph 3, I did mention that I make use of both the section 205 and the downloads to explain to the court and make use of certain terms like MOC and MTC. MOC and MTC is an indication if the call was received or made by a person.
Then the last paragraph of paragraph 5.
Kelly Kumalo was not a suspect and we concentrate on her as a person of interest. The number of Nkani, suspect number 5, with the number +27 73305 9202 was discovered and and ownership was confirmed via Inatus and bank statement.
So I was concerned about the sentence where you said Kelly was not a suspect. But you further mentioned that he was
A person of interest.
a person of interest.
That's correct.
What do you mean by that?
Person of interest, I mean by that she was one of the persons in the house because one of our witnesses at that stage.
In paragraph 6, you talk about the rebooting of the cell phone.
That's correct.
So is there any difference between resetting and rebooting a cell phone?
It's actually the same, but the download machine will read it as a reboot.
Do you mean if you reboot, do you switch off the cell phone? Do you switch off the device?
No,
What do you mean?
you go to your factory settings in your cell phone, factory settings, and then you ask your phone to sort of you give in sort of an instruction to delete everything on your phone.
During the rebooting process, that information cannot be captured by the 205s. That the
No.
cell phone was rebooted.
No,
So in your paragraph 8, so you were adamant that there was a communication between Kelly Kumalo and accused number 5.
that's correct.
My Lord, may I request that I be given the chance to research that provision, because mainly my
Which provision is
cross-examination,
that now?
the one that we stood it down for the POPIA Act, because my main focus was on that aspect. So with your permission,
I can give you the number of the director, the administrator, Miss Pensi Takula. I can give it to you. Talk to her. I mean,
It's not
she's a civil
necessary.
servant, and she administers the act.
it's not necessary.
Oh, it's not necessary. Okay, fine.
I'll just go through my research. Okay.
How long do you need for your research, sir?
You can give me an hour, my Lord, if possible.
What are you researching? The promulgation of an act,
Yes.
the date. Or you want to research the act, read the act.
No. I don't want to read the act. My
Okay.
Lord, from what I gathered,
Yeah.
I understand that it has been promulgated in piecemeal. Yes. So there are certain parts that dealt with the coming to operation of this act in 2014. And if it came into operation, what part of legislation did it cover relating to that aspect?
I see.
Yes, which might be relevant to the questions that I want to impose.
Yeah, but read that act also. Sorry, read S versus Cooper, okay?
Yes, my Lord, I'll do so.
Right, an hour we adjourn.
Ziakala Lana Straight says one comment, which, you know what? I didn't realize that with the end of the Olympics, that the Olympics would actually continue, okay? They would continue right here in South Africa, where in Judge Ratter's courthouse over there in the Pretoria High Court. This was some insanity going on. But let's break down a few things that we discovered. You know, Steyn is doing a phenomenal job. One thing I won't fault him for, he might have tried to run, but I can't fault him. He's doing a phenomenal job in giving out relevant information. First and foremost, he confirms that the PDF from Vodacom is the ultra document, okay? It cannot be disputed. Like Ngomezulu literally forced that out of his mouth, and we got a yes. Yes, yes, yes. So if you're saying the PDF document is the ultra document, that means South African police document download is very, very questionable. So a couple of things that I want to break down here is that there is no way Umlungu is this confused. So I'm going to again chuck it to he's retired, okay? He's forgotten something. Some things are not coming back as easily or as naturally as they would had he been still an active member of the South African Police Services. He said reboot and reset are one and the same thing, okay? They're just two different words, but it's one and the same thing. When you go, and then Ngomezulu goes, okay, cool. How do you reboot? You go into your settings, and then you give it an instruction, and then it deletes everything. That sounds like a reset to me, but you know what? He is so convinced that a reboot is and a reset are one and the same thing. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What is a reboot for you? Listen, I've had my phone crash. The option to reboot has been fantastic because it means I do not lose any data. it comes back to the phone. A reset, factory reset, means I'm selling this phone to John Blow and he's not going to see what my phone had prior to me selling it to him. But you know what? Steyn is the expert, right? He's the expert, the ultra expert who has to come back from retirement because this is information that he's fully aware of. You know what? This brings this video to the end. Let me know your thoughts. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll definitely catch you in the comment section. And don't forget to like the video if you're watching from outside the club. You can also like the video. I guarantee you it is anonymous. But if you like, go ahead, consider subscribing to the channel. Why? Because you won't miss my next notifications. Thanks for watching. I'll definitely catch you on my next upload. If you've made it this far in the video, you already know you have my heart. Thanks for watching all the ads, guys. I really appreciate the support, and I'll catch you on my next upload.